This one says, name 100 items. This one says, ask for a favorite toy using your device. If you had to pick, if you could only choose one goal to work on first, which would you pick? It's obvious, right? One of these skills has real impact. The other might look good on a report. But here's the thing, we don't always get to pick the goal that we believe matters most. Sometimes we feel boxed in by assessment results, insurance rules, or what somebody else expects to see. So we default to goals that check boxes. And in doing so, we often miss the ones that really change a child's life. In the last video, we talked about feeling powerless, like your clinical insight has to bow to the system. This week, I want to help you begin to shift that dynamic because you don't have to abandon the system. You just have to engage with it smarter. Let's talk about how to go deeper than the assessment, how to identify pivotal behaviors and behavioral cusps that reflect the child's real needs and still get your plans approved. When you learn to translate what matters into what fits the system, everything starts to shift. Progress happens faster, caregivers feel hope again, and you get to feel like you're actually helping, not just documenting what's going on. Let me give you a quick example. I knew a child, let's call her Tori. Her assessment scores showed she could tact maybe a dozen items or so. Her listener responding was weak. Her problem behaviors flared up when demands were placed. But from observing her, I saw more. She would look toward caregivers, gesture toward play items, cry when items were out of reach. She knew what she wanted. She just couldn't ask for it. So instead of prioritizing more tasks or listener responding, I anchored on a Cusp goal of using AAC or picture exchange to request preferred items or assistance. Everything else, listener responding, discriminating pictures, or symbol recognition became scaffolds to support that cusp. Within months, her frustration started to drop. She began initiating, and other goals followed more naturally. You can do this too, and here's how. Review your session notes, caregiver reports, and what you're seeing directly during sessions. What small signs of communication are already showing up? Identify meaningful patterns in the data. Analyze what you've observed to uncover what's driving the child's behavior and where growth is already trying to happen. Look for a behavior that's easy to target, but has ripple effects across the child's life. This might be initiating interactions, making simple requests, tolerating brief delays, or managing their own behavior. These are the kinds of skills that unlock independence, connection, and learning across many different environments. Once you know what meaningful goal you're aiming for, you can start to work backward. What does the child need to be able to do before they can get there? Look for foundational skills like discriminating between cues, following basic instructions, tolerating prompts, or even shifting attention. These are the small teachable components that pave the way for more complex, meaningful behavior. When you write your plan, anchor that cusp goal, then show the scaffolds. Reference the raw assessments and the observations that led you to your hypothesis. Link your reasoning clearly. That way the plan isn't seen as wild, it becomes defensible. Now, most people stop after step 2. But here's where the drift happens. You need step 3 and 4 to anchor everything. You might wonder, what if the supervisor or funder pushes back? We'll talk about how to present your logic so they understand. And yes, in real systems, you'll have constraints, but I'll show you how to plan for that too. Let's be real, constraints exist. Time is limited, but you may even be required to include goals in multiple domains. Some team members won't immediately buy in. So use caregiver videos or short probes to supplement what you can't cover in one session. Nest mandated goals as scaffolds under your cusp. Show how they support the big goal. Write the narrative logic clearly. When others see your thread from assessment to hypothesis to cusp to scaffold, resistance starts to drop. Don't try to do multiple cusp goals at once. Stick to one or two major ones and then revisit your roadmap regularly. Adjust and even pivot when you need to. So here's your challenge. Go back to your last assessment, pick one goal. Now ask yourself, is it a cusp? Does it unlock new potential, not just progress on paper, but real change in the child's life? If not, reorient it and start there. If you need help, I built a template inside the dojo. It's a simple, fillable tool that helps you choose a cusp goal, map out supports, and write a rationale that fits the system. You'll find it in the Beyond Assessments course. And in the next video, we're not just writing the right goals, we're keeping them on track. We'll look at how plans drift, how to spot it early, and how to adapt before everything unravels. Even the best goals fall flat if no one sticks with it. So if you've ever felt like your plan made sense on paper but fell apart in practice, that's where we're going next. Hit like if this helped you refocus, drop a comment with the goal you're going to test, and subscribe if you want to keep building plans that actually work. Let's stop doing more and start doing what matters. I'll see you in the next one.